Greetings! Welcome to the exciting world of fantasy adventure. Today we're doing something new. I've been challenged by a tweet to write an adaptation of a Mattel game in Sinclair Basic. So, I've got my magic shield, I've got my magic sword, I've got my helmet, I've got my armour on. Are you ready to enter the exciting world of Dungeons and Dragons?
While the game is loading, we shall look at the manual for the Mattel Electronics Dungeons and Dragons Computer Labyrinth game. Dungeons and Dragons is a trademark owned by and used under license from TSR Hobbies Incorporated, Mattel Incorporated 1980. So a labyrinth is a structure containing an intricate network of winding passages hard to follow without losing one's way, or a maze. Dungeons and Dragons Computer Labyrinth game is an electronic game of strategy, imagination and adventure. It is inspired by the well-known Dungeons & Dragons fantasy role-playing game published by TSR Hobbies Incorporated. Within the dungeon labyrinth lurks a deadly dragon guarding a fantastic treasure. Your object is to find and steal the treasure, then get it back to your secret room before the dragon gets you, or your rival warrior robs you. You'll never unravel the secret of this labyrinth. The computer generates a different labyrinth each time you turn on the game. So put the battery in, then the dungeon. It's an 8x8 grid with various buttons. We'll have the sound previews, which are your only clues as to what is happening. We'll see those when we start playing the game. There are 3 levels of the game. Basic mode, which is just normal. Advanced mode adds magic doors. And legendary mode, which is like advanced mode, except you don't put the wall markers on. At the beginning of the game, each player can move his warrior a maximum of 8 squares per turn, starting in your secret room. When you move up a square, you press your buttons, get a beep. If you hit a wall, you hear the wall sound, and that's the end of your go. If you hit a door, the same thing, but you get the door sound. At the beginning of the game, the dragon is asleep in the treasure room, but the dragon sleeps with one eye open. After each player has taken a turn, the dragon checks to see if anyone is approaching too close to the treasure. If either player is 3 squares away or closer in any direction, the dragon waits completely. You hear the dragon wake sound, a low buzzing. As soon as the second player's turn is over, the dragon moves 1 square. You hear the dragon flying sound. When the dragon is awake, it starts to chase the nearest warrior. It always moves 1 square at a time after player 2 has taken his turn. The dragon can fly diagonally and fly over walls. If a dragon is chasing one warrior and the second warrior moves closer, the dragon will change course to go after the second closer warrior. If either warrior gets the treasure, the dragon will immediately start after that warrior, even if the other warrior is closer. The dragon starts the game as invisible. Once the dragon attacks a warrior, you can mark it with a piece. The warrior is returned to their secret room and loses 2 moves per turn. After 3 attacks, the warrior is dead. If you're attacked with carrying the treasure, you're out of the game completely. When you pick up the treasure, your move ends, and you can only move 4 spaces a turn, but the other warrior can also attack you. Both warriors in a 2-player game start out equally strong. Each time a warrior moves, they lose a little strength. Periodically during the game, the computer will renew your warrior's strength back to what it was at the start of the game. You can never be sure when this will happen, just as you can never be really sure what your warrior's strength is. A warrior's strength has nothing to do with his ability to move his maximum number of moves per turn. A warrior's strength determines 2 things: the winner in a warrior versus warrior fight over the treasure, and the loser if dragon lands on a square occupied by both warriors. The dragon attacks and wounds the weaker warrior. Let's have a look at the game. The game is just loaded, and it prompts us for the number of players. We'll have 2 players. We get to choose our difficulty. We're going to start off normal. You can change difficulty during the game. I'll choose a safe room. Let's go with 3-3 for player 1 and 6-6 for player 2. You can change difficulty dynamically during the game by pressing the D key. So we draw the Scroll of Wisdom and hear the Warrior 1 sound. Welcome to the exciting world of Dungeons and Dragons. You are a brave warrior on a quest for the treasure of a fearsome dragon. Use the cursor keys 5, 6, 7, 8 to move around the labyrinth. Walls will stop you. Walls start out invisible but become visible when you walk into them. In advanced mode, doors will open and close magically. When the dragon wakes, the hunt begins. Gold is heavy. Can you steal the gold and escape with your life? Or will you be another fool fit only for dragon dinner. I put this screen in to give you something to look at while the game generates the code. Warrior 2, dragon wakes, dragon flying. That's a wall. That's a door. Found the treasure. You've won. You've lost. The dragon's attacking. So the idea is, in the original game, you only got those sounds to let you know what was happening. So I've tried not to have too much text. So player 1 has started with the Warrior 1 sound, 2 notes, low then high. Player 1 is in green. The border is green to indicate this. I'm in my safe room with my horns and my little sword. So I'm going to try going safe. We're now in basic mode. I'm going to try and find the area around my room. I hit a wall. That's the Warrior 2 sound. Warrior 2 is cyan border, armed with a mace. So we're going to go. The treasure room starts out at least 3 spaces away from you. And we've already woken the dragon. So the dragon is close to somebody. So one of us got too close. If the dragon image appears in all its beautiful glory. So player 1 is going to move around their safe room. Find the dragon this early is bad, because when you move into a wall, it ends your turn and then you can't run away from the dragon. So each warrior is hoping the dragon attacks the other one, because then the dragon becomes visible. So both of us are safe so far, but the dragon is coming for one of us. So it's found another wall. So Warrior 2 is going to go north. There's no point trying the edge of the maze. So that's a wall there. The invisible dragon is on the prowl. Let's go north. Let's go west. Into another wall. So player 2. This game sometimes generates mazes that are unsolvable. This is my second take this morning. Because of that very problem. So the dragon has just attacked Warrior 1. Warrior 1's returned to his safe room and is now limited to 6 moves per turn. So Warrior 1 is going to go away from the dragon, which is west. And walk into a wall. Warrior 2 is going to try and go north into a wall. But I'm safe though, which is good. So the dragon goes after Warrior 1 as the only warrior outside the safe room. So let's go west into a wall. This is bad. However, I can still get to my safe room. Go south. South. Let's try again. We're now equidistant. Let's go into a wall. So who would it go for? Goes for Warrior 1. Warrior 1 goes south. And then into my safe room. And then stop. Warrior 2 is going to go south. Because you can't move into the dragon. It'll attack you. Let's go east. Into a wall. So it's coming for Warrior 2 at the moment. So Warrior 1's going to try going south. Let's try going west. Into a wall. Let's try Warrior 2 going south. Let's go east. Can I go north? No. We don't want to... Last time the maze was... The treasure room was stuck behind that big wall. So Warrior 1 is stuck behind... The dragon's between him and the safe room. So let's go east. I need to go east again. Phew, I'm safe. So Warrior 2 into a wall. So last time we couldn't quite get into that section. So we have to restart the game. Unfortunately, that then means that you have to start again. So Warrior 1 goes north, into a wall, means Warrior 1's going to get attacked again. Warrior 2 goes south, east, north. Yeah. So last time, so Warrior 1 is currently safe. Warrior 2 is not safe. I think the treasure room is in that blocked off section. Where to find out is go back to your safe room and wait. The dragon will go back to its lair. Oh, okay. So the dragon did not go behind that wall. So Warrior 1 is going to go west, south, south, and let's go west. And found the treasure in the bottom left hand corner. Warrior 2 does not like this. So into a wall. So, as promised, we're going to change the difficulty up to advanced. Please note the treasure icon indicate Warrior 1 has the treasure. There's now a chance we'll walk into a door. So we need to go north, and then north, and then east. And that's the end of our go. Warrior 2, let's go south. Let's go west. Oh, into a wall. So the dragon's after me. And Warrior 1, if he can make it into his room without hitting a door, we win the game. And that's Mattel Dungeons and Dragons. Stay tuned for the developer diary. So this whole escapade started off with a tweet from Saucerbrain, who posted this saying, I wonder if it would be too epic a task for me to recreate this game in Sinclair Basic. Jim Blimey and I both encouraged Saucerbrain to give it a go, so I thought, I'll give it a crack. I'd never heard of the game before. I had a quick look on YouTube. I found a guy playing the game. Apparently Spoonie had played it, had a great deal of trouble with it. But this bloke played it, it seemed straightforward, and I did my first plan on a piece of paper. As the game is an 8x8 grid, I initially thought 8x8 on the screen. I then realised that would be a tiny portion of the top left of the screen, which would be a bit rubbish. Okay, why not 2x2 squares? So nice big chunky graphics. I then decided that a square would either be a warrior, or a dragon, or a wall. And my first attempt was, you can see here, I've got a warrior, and I've got a sort of corner piece. And I've got initial thoughts on variable names, S1X, S1Y for the safe room, P1X, P1Y for the player, DX, DY for the dragon, TX, TY for the location of the treasure. I kept this all the way through. It might have made more sense to have PX and PY as arrays, but I didn't. The main part of the game is the dungeon, and I thought a three-dimensional array, 8, 8, 4, with 8 being X, 8 being Y, and the 4 exits, north, east, south and west. And you would move by cursor keys 5, 6, 7, 8. It might have made more sense to have the exits as following those, so 5 would be 1, 6 would be 2, etc. But I didn't. I did it in a rather bizarre way, which got annoying rather later. So this is the first attempt from the 26th of November. We've got entry number of players, 1 player for now. Enter your safe room. Then you have a long wait while my inefficient algorithm builds the maze. In order to make sure I still knew what was happening, I'd changed the border. We then drew all the maze on the screen. These are all the visible walls. So originally you meant to only see walls when you walk into them, but that's for later. To start off with, to make sure I could actually see what's going on, we had this. All the walls are double thickness because you draw them from both sides of each room. The rooms are in between the walls. The green bit's meant to be the safe room, and unfortunately I've got it slightly wrong. And A, B, C, D are going to be the user-defined graphics for Warrior 1. So this is version 1. A small interlude. Strongheart the Paladin fights the baddies, gets stabbed in the back, dies, and then is resurrected by a wizard. Let's get back to the adventure. Version 8. This is the 27th of November. We now already have user-defined graphics for the outside wall and the warrior. And we've added the dragon. The dragon is currently sleeping. We move around the maze. We don't have sound yet. So we just have the maze. It's the dragon's go. It's still slow. But you can see here nice big chunky walls. And the warrior moves around the maze. Once they hit a wall, their turn ends. So the core gameplay loop is here. So move around the maze looking for the treasure. We tell you what's going on. Oh, the dragon's now awake. It is moving around. The dragon is invisible and we don't actually display it on the map, which makes the code interesting. So I'm moving around the map. The dragon is hunting, which means it's moving. I'm moving around. I'll tell you the moves left again because I haven't got the sound yet. Dragon moves one square of a turn as far as we can tell. I keep walking into walls, which is always a mistake when the dragon is hunting. Let's go east, go north. Let's explore the labyrinth, looking for... Oh, there's another wall. The dragon must be getting close now. So down we go. So we should be far away from the dragon. What should we do now? Get no sound, no competing players, and the dragon logic is essentially move towards the active player. Oh, a dragon's attacked me. The roar means it's an attack. So I've now been wounded. So I was probably in the bottom right corner of the screen, where the dragon is. I've now got 6 moves left, 4 moves left, into a wall. So, if I can stay away from the... Oh, I found the treasure. And then the dragon's killed me. So let's look at the source. Well, first of all, let's see where we are. P1X. And the dragon. So here's the source as it is now. I've got lots of numbers all over the place. The code works, but it's proving difficult, and I'm thinking I need to rewrite it a bit. Fortunately, 128K Spectrum comes with a renumber function. Let's check it out. 128K basic. Let's load the program in. We don't want to run it this time, so I'm going to stop the program. Here's our source, and if we do edit, which is cap shift 1, bring up the menu and go to renumber. See here I've got 55s and 67s and 76s, and we wait a small period of time, and then beep, it puts everything in nice multiples of 10. So previously our code at list 9000, it's gone. The last code is now 3060, which isn't too bad. Lots of space in between. Everything is all lovely. And it also updates, as you'd expect, the Go subs and the Go 2s. So this is all very nice and tidy. So I thought I would keep using this as I go through the code, make it all tidy. Unfortunately, there are some gotchas. A little program here we've written. We've put a few little tricks in it. You run it, it selects a random sentence, displays it on the screen as if you're throwing a dice. And we've got the elegant go-to with go-to brackets x equals 1 times 200, etc, etc. And that's all quite nice. And at the top of the program, we've got some variables which contain line numbers to make things a bit easier, a technique I started to use in my code. So it all works quite nicely. But the numbers are a bit rubbish. Here we are, let dragon is 500, let treasure equals 1000. So I'm going to renumber this to make it tidy. And that works fine. The problem being, the renumbering doesn't know I've been Mr. Clever Trousers. So obviously dragon is 500 and treasure is 1000. It has no way of knowing those are actually line numbers, so they are unchanged. Additionally, in the line 70, which is the elegant go-to, which could also be the for loop with data, those numbers are changed as well. So when I ran my clever code, which had done a few of these in, it stopped working. So that's me breaking it. I didn't have enough data. But that was a bit of a problem. So after I renumbered at the end of version 8, I couldn't renumber anymore because I completely hosed the program. One thing every good Spectrum game needs is a loading screen. I put this screen together in the QAOP browser-based Spectrum emulator while I was away for work, nothing else to do in the long evenings. So you get a nice little screen and it draws various things. So you've got the white jagged lines of the mountains, the crescent moon is done by a series of lines drawn with the arc, the castle, the flag. You have to be very careful with that because you've got a black flagpole and then the red flag. You have to be precise on your pixel boundaries, remember 8x8 squares. The dragon is a series of lines spraying out from a point. The legs take forever to draw. I think my algorithm for trying to draw knee joints and then claws was a bit wrong. I was quite impressed with the fire effect, but what you see now is a long wait when it finally tries to make the legs a little bit thicker. We now need to draw the forelegs, and after that we're going to have the warrior. What you then need to do is save the result as save quote screen string, and it will then save the image of the screen to tape. However, if you try and load that, it just won't work. Therefore, you're going to need to build your own type of loader, which I do as well. I could have done a better job of the art, but it's not bad for an evening's work. So as you see on the screen, we have here a simple loader program. The first command is going to be load any file name as a screen, and then originally line 20 was just load, which would load my program. And then you'd save this program as a loader, running it as line 1, it would run, load your screen, then load your actual program, and it would work fine. The only problem being, after you loaded the screen, the program would then say loading program Dungeons and Dragons and splat that over the top of your picture, which ruined it. There are various ways around this. This way I got from a blog, which got it from Jonathan Caldwell, his book about writing games for the Spectrum, which I need to read and print out. If you poke 23739 with 111, you poke the output stream and it stops it writing the bytes until you do a clear screen again, which you get after you've loaded the screen. So add that in, you save this program to tape, you then save the screen to tape, you then save the actual program to tape, and then you can load it. This is V13. We've got the user design graphics, we've got 2 players now, we've also got about half the sounds. We've got movement, we've got walls. I've not done doors at this point. We've now got a dragon graphic, so the dragon awakes. And you can see here there's a bug in how the dragon works. You don't get any sound when the dragon attacks. No real indication what the dragon's up to. But suddenly your warrior is back in his room. Either way, we're going to try and see what's going on. So I believe the dragon is currently where the dragon's legs are, but it started where the dragon's head was. So Warrior 2 is trying to explore the labyrinth. It keeps hitting walls. The dragon's moving around. And I think it's just to the north of somewhere. I think the problem is it's putting the dragon's head on the row where the warrior is rather than where the dragon's head is. So Warrior 1 is trying to get past the dragon and it's running straight into the wall. Warrior 2 is going to try and get out of there. And again, Warrior 1's been attacked by the dragon for the second time. Return to his safe room. So the dragon logic, and you shall see some of the code at the end, it's rather the basic idea is fine. It goes for the nearest warrior, or unless someone's got the treasure, or unless you're in a safe room, which isn't too bad. Except you have to count for go for the nearest person unless they're dead or in a safe room, or the other person got the treasure. And if there's only one player, then you don't have all the attributes, which gets rather hairy. And I didn't flowchart it out, that section of code, so it's a bit of a mess. I had to go through it multiple times, looking for all the cases when the dragon wasn't just chasing dead people. And here I've lost player 1, therefore the game stops, even though there's a second player still playing. Thank you for watching this video, and for sitting through a recreation of a board game I've never actually played. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully Saucer Brain will enjoy the game.